All right. I think we'll begin.
Yeah, I think we can start. So, yeah, today we are going to talk about who DMT is for and all the groups that DMT can benefit. Um, Before we start, I just want to address this that we might today be narrating a few anecdotes from our facilitations, but we are going to be very careful so we don't give out any telling details of any particular person or an organization because we really believe in confidentiality. So even though we might be narrating, there won't be any mentions of anyone. So if anyone who has been part of our facilitations or DMT session groups, please don't worry. There won't be any name telling or any way in which your identity would be revealed. So I think,
Identity,
yeah.
and also probably we are not going to address the concerns directly. We'll
Hmm.
try and use different shades to address them rather than address everything directly.
Yeah.
So that is the idea today. And with that, let's begin. I think the poster, the story said that DMT meets you where you are. And today I would like to start with the point, once again reiterating the same point, that dance movement therapy is not dance and it is not just for dancers. It is for dancers also. But
Hmm.
even if you are a non-dancer, it is definitely for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd like to start with that. I think many
Yeah.
a times we think that because there's dance in it, it is having steps and choreographies and
Hmm.
typical dance movements. No, it is not that. So, dance movement therapy is literally for everyone, except a few rare cases here and there. And today we will be talking about different groups that we have worked with, and
Hmm.
also the groups or people for whom dance movement therapy can be really, really useful, can be really healing, can be really fun also sometimes, just that.
Yeah. 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 So taking away from what you said, like I was saying in the last session also, like people ask me, who is dance therapy for? And I say everyone at some point of time, like how everyone has gone to a general physician for a headache or a stomach ache. Similarly, there for everyone, I feel some point or the other in life comes that you need some help to process your emotions, deal with your emotions. And this, I feel, is a good way to do so.
Absolutely. And I think we should start with where it started. Initially, in Western world, there was only ballet and very strict rules related and associated with classical dance. So then the dancers themselves started questioning why do we have to follow such rigid rules? And also, where is the expression part of it? Where is my expression? Where is my identity? We were just talking about identity and that question of where is me in this entire choreography. It started with that. The questions arose from there. And then during the World War II, when the soldiers were completely depressed, they were unable to even talk to anybody. Talk therapy was not working. Any other therapies were absolutely not working for them. That is when dancers were invited, and the dancers used movements with them, and they started resonating with it because they didn't have to open their mouth. They didn't have to process as much as they would if they were talking to somebody. The body started moving, and with movement came in joy, came in that relaxation, came in that acceptance. And that's how the official journey of dance movement therapy started. So the wars, the soldiers of the wars were the first people who were the first clients of so-called dance movement therapy.
Yep. And yeah, I feel maybe we can start from that group in a current scenario also benefiting from something like dance movement therapy or just movement therapy in general because I've seen so many people in the forces so close in my family. I know for a fact how much PTSD comes with the job, not just for the soldiers, but the families as well. And I feel this would be such a good way of getting the whole community together to process that PTSD, to at least address first that this is normal and there is a solution, and you don't have to sort of go on like that. There can be a cure. There is a way for you to deal with it rather than, and again, because DMT works so well in a group setting as well, time wise also I feel it's quite economical because so many people can come together and have this beautiful experience of stress release together rather than each person doing one-on-one sessions, which then also is time taking for an institution like the armed forces or even in
Right.
a corporate setup, right? So I feel
Yeah. I think group therapies by itself is a very rare concept in India these days. But if we have to look back at the history of dance movement therapy, it has mostly been for groups. It has worked
hmm,
really well with groups, and that's the reason we also have worked with a lot of groups,
yeah.
right? I remember working with children as young as 5, 6 years of age to older adults, geriatrics who were around 70 years of age. And I know people who have worked with people who are above that also. So it encompasses everybody and it is literally suitable for all age groups. Maybe with children, it is more to do with movement for education rather than therapy purposes.
Hmm.
It really helps for children to understand abstract concepts because dance is so abstract, movement is so
Hmm.
abstract. So children can learn a lot, learn much better with movement. I remember working with a group many years ago. I taught them how machines work by creating movements. You know how electricity flows, how the rotor rotates, and so each child had a different role. And for them, it was so clear. You know, so Akshay was this, and Uma was this, or Shobha was this. And then it's so easy to even write that in the exam or, recollect that while a Viva is going on, or generally for them to
Hmm.
understand how a machine works, it's very easy. So
Hmm.
I use movement like that with children. And I remember working with a lot of NGOs where these children were there and orphan children. For them, it was so important to express themselves. Very often, children are not given a chance to express. They are
Hmm.
not even allowed to share what's going on in their life, right? What they need, or what kind of learning, or food, or play, or anything that they need. And I remember working with NGOs and just an opportunity to be themselves. Otherwise,
Hmm.
there are always strict rules and boundaries and restrictions. But here, I just gave them an opportunity to be themselves, and the colors that came out, the expressions that came out, and children looked forward to a session. For them, it was so new. They were not sitting in a classroom and listening to the teacher, but
Hmm.
rather everybody was listening to them, and that was really exciting.
Yeah, I think you bring up a very good point of agency because I feel in a social hierarchy, children are someone with the least agency because they're always told what to do. Even as educators, we have to tell them what to do. And so even for me, when I was taking a session for children in an NGO, when I asked him, okay, what do you want to do? And they had no idea for like 2 seconds they just were very like they were blank and they were staring at me as if aren't you supposed to tell us what we are supposed to do. But then when even they realize that the session is actually going to go the way they want, some very beautiful concepts and themes came up, which I the activities I just took from them, you know you things like friendship and play and siblings and parents and all of these themes, and the children had it in them to find a group sculpture or a hand gesture to show what friendship means for them or what parenting means for them. And even that was like so beautiful. So I feel agency is something which, and not just for children, it brings about a very different side of people, I feel, in every session when it is them completely running the ship and us just being facilitators, facilitating them, guiding them through the process. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So from children, I remember working with teachers also. And we always have a lot of concern for children, right? But teachers are not people who are given any concern, or nobody asks them what are your difficulties or where do you need help. And I remember talking to a group of teachers and they shared so many things and they came up with so many more ideas that I never thought could be possible
Hmm.
also.
Hmm.
So it helps a lot of stakeholders too, whether it is teachers in a school, professors in a college, or nurses and other support staff in hospitals, or anybody in general who are people who are taking care and stakeholders of the organization. For them, it's a great avenue, even as simple as releasing their stress or talking about a safe space to talk about what happens in their workspace. They might be
Hmm.
having so many issues, or there might be simple moments of joy, but who do they share it with? Right? A safe space where they can be themselves and not
Hmm.
be that teacher or a nurse or a doctor or a software engineer, probably. Right? So it works with that group as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I feel, like I said, everyone needs therapy at some point of time, and there might not be this exact need of something specific, but just one DMT session to feel happier. Like I have had sessions where the only change a person felt was the face they drew something, and in the before picture, it was just a face and a cookie man body. And later, the next one afterwards, there was just a smile, and that was the only change. But that also, I feel it's money, time, energy, effort, very well spent, because
Absolutely.
you're getting to spend time with yourself, you're getting to explore your emotions and feeling happier at the end of it. So, what more could you need?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely. I think, yeah, just one simple change. I remember one child who came to me. He was so closed initially, and he walked in saying, am I going to attend a dance class? The typical question,
Hmm.
right? Am I going to attend the dance class? And towards the end of it, I told him, no, we are not going to be dancing as such. But towards the end of it, when music was played, he started dancing
Hmm.
without instructions, without any specific choreographies or nothing. Just the music played, and he felt so relieved, probably so happy and very free just to be himself and express through his movements on that music. So that change I have seen in many people, not just this
Hmm.
one child, many people who come to the sessions.
Hmm. The very other end of the spectrum was a group of older adults that I was facilitating, and they were very keen on dancing and learning dance, and they thought I would teach them some choreographies. And so the apprehension began later when I said that this is not a dance class. And I could see, they didn't say anything, very sweet group. They didn't say anything, but I could see that there was some disappointment as to, okay, so then what are we getting from this session? But even through those movement exercises and like very beautiful small things, right? Just this was a group of 70 plus older adults, and we were doing some, acting basically. And so they had to show rain, and most of them had a very specific stereotypical way of showing rain, very small movements like that. Same thing, just for my own noting purposes. Towards the end of the session, that was, I think, after doing 15 hours with them, we did the same activity that we did before. And I kid you not, there were just so many different ways that rain was shown in that activity. Some was just with loops, and for some, the reach was higher. There was some different movement happening in the fingers. So, not just that psychologically they were able to break barriers, think about different ways to show rain, but physically they realize that they are able to reach their arms that high or move their fingers in such a way. And that also and this was the feedback I got, that I'm so happy to know that this is something I can do with my hands. 70 years of living, I never thought I could do this with my hands. And I feel even that is, it was a very, fulfilling yet humbling moment for me, because to be able to help someone realize their own capabilities without really doing much or saying much, it was a very wholesome moment for me.
Yeah, and I think building up on that, Purva, something very similar. This we call it the range of motion, right? So I
Hmm.
was working with this one pregnant lady, right? She started with sitting down, and she was, I think, 4 or 5 months in her second trimester, basically, when she started doing these sessions with me. And she came in, and of course, it was not just dance movement therapy. It had a lot of knowledge related things and a lot of other activities. And I was using DMT as one of the means for certain understanding or certain
Hmm.
helping certain things for her. So she started with just sitting down, and when I played music without any instructions, when I asked her to dance or show something or express something or think of something, the movement would close in 30 seconds. Okay? Because there are no lyrics. We generally don't use lyrics when we play music. And then after around, yeah, same thing, 15, 20 sessions, she could dance, and she was in her third trimester, almost full-fledged, maybe 37, 38 weeks pregnant, and she could dance for 5 to 6 minutes,
Hmm.
completely abstract music, no lyrics, no words, and she had so many ways of expressions, so many ways to move her body with her big, beautiful tummy, and that was wonderful to see. It was really, really inspiring for me. And she did not find discomfort at all. She was
Hmm.
so conscious and aware of her body. When you work with dance movement therapy, the self awareness, the body awareness is
Hmm.
at a different high altogether. And I could see clearly in that lady. So, yes, coming to that, geriatrics, definitely yes.
Yes.
Pregnant women,
Yes.
pregnant
Why
fathers
not?
too.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I think movement can bring about that abstract language. When your child is not with you, how are you going to talk to it? It's not going to understand language, no grammar, no words, no
Hmm.
vocabulary.
Hmm.
But movement is the language of a baby in the womb too, right?
Hmm.
The first instinct of the baby is to kick or push or move and communicate that, yes, I'm there, I'm acknowledging, I'm listening. So
Right.
movement is so abstract. No
Yeah.
words required, no thoughts required, also sometimes. So I
And
think it starts from there, unborn babies.
yeah. Also, because we are talking about, moving with the body, understanding the body, there's also this big area about, and a general conversation that happens about self-image and body image issues. And I feel DMT also does help with that, because the first step, like everyone now knows, is accepting one's body, being comfortable in one's body. And for that, you need to know your body. You need to know what are the weak points, what are the strong points, what kind of movement gives you joy. And I don't think there is any human being alive for whom some sort of a movement does not spark joy. You just have to know it. You just have to spend some time inside of your body to know what what movement, what music, what action would do that for you. So I feel, even though helping with body image issues is like a very distant thing, but the levels leading up to it, DMT definitely does acknowledge. There are ways and techniques in DMT that sort of approach this topic, where we are able to really focus on our bodies, help understand our bodies, and eventually there is, I feel, somewhere that acceptance and love that comes in somewhere.
In fact, Purva, you're talking about understanding one's own body, right? I think both of us being dancers, we also took that time and understood our bodies.
Yes,
And both of us have worked with classical dancers and
yes,
groups that are so in tune with your body.
yep.
But then at the end of every DMT session, they learned something new about themselves. They
Yeah.
learned which movement looks good on me.
Good. Yeah.
Classical is so rigid. I mean, in terms of structure, it's there, it's very perfect. But still, there was scope for improvement. There was
Yeah.
scope for this is me, expression of me coming out through this simple movement of
Yeah.
mine, or understanding the rhythms, right? Understanding expressions. In fact, a very interesting thing happened is that we as dancers work with different characters and, portray their emotions.
Yeah.
But in a session, when I asked them to express what you're feeling, they found it really hard. Surprisingly, it
Hmm.
was so hard. And they were like, oh, we are always thinking as a Draupadi or a Krishna or as a Shiva, but never as me.
Yeah.
On the stage, it's never me. And that is what DMT brought about for these group of dancers. It helped them tone their body, it helped them understand their
Hmm.
vocabulary, personal vocabulary, which we call their own authentic movement. And, it helped them discover what looks good, what feels good.
Hmm.
And it helped them understand how to express on the stage. They discovered tools themselves. It was not even me or you telling them. I think they
Hmm.
themselves came up with so many ideas and tools that they could use in their
Yeah.
journey as dancers.
Yeah. I feel when it comes to DMT for artists, I can just speak from my own experience because I've been learning classical dance for over 20 years now. There was that perception I had about myself also that, oh, because I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, I'm supposed to, even when I'm not dancing or teaching, I'm supposed to talk like this and gesticulate like this and move my head like this. And I had somewhere internalized that, oh, Bharatanatyam, so angular, angular only I'll be. But that was not the case for me. I realized, oh, my natural rhythm or my authentic movement actually is quite wavy. And that again has helped me in my dance. And I feel not just for artists, like even people in corporates, there is a way they internalize a way to sit at a desk, a way to talk to a superior, a way to talk to an inferior, or how to gesticulate in a meeting, how to talk to an HR. And somewhere I feel this does get transferred to personal spaces as well, a lot of times. And over time, it could happen that people just become a little disconnected with what their natural rhythm is, what their authentic movement is. And, just because, see, when you're in your workspace, you have to do that. When I'm performing Bharatanatyam, I have to be angular. But other than that, just to let my body breathe a little, these DMT techniques, I feel really, really had helped me. And I've seen in a corporate space help people, actually become slightly more confident versions of themselves because now they know the kind of leader they would want to become. These are some concepts that came up. Just using some movement based activities, some fun games, props, and the revelations just happened like that. And most of it didn't even reach me. That was a very silent group, but in the end I had sent out a Google form, and the stuff that came up, okay, so how did DMT help you? Oh, it helped me understand that that I'm more comfortable being a part of the team than leading a team. And something like that happening in a corporate setup, to understand what role you feel you're fit to play and the quality with which you will fulfill it. I feel this is something which is so beneficial in a corporate setup, right?
Actually, I think you have gone way too high. Something as simple as just stress release from, the work that you are doing, or at the
Hmm.
end of the day, just relax or
Hmm.
just open up, right? Beginning from there to
Yeah.
understanding your quality as a leader or a team player to that range. And yes, setting personal boundaries, right? It is
Hmm.
applicable not just for working adults, it's applicable for everybody.
Everywhere
I,
and
yeah,
everywhere.
understanding my boundaries, whether physical boundaries or internal boundaries that I create for myself with my roles, with my personalities, it's so important. And DMT has many tools, many powerful, practical tools which are very simple, in fact, that
Yeah.
help people. I can be myself at home. I have to be a dance teacher at my dance class. I need to be a mother to somebody. I need to be a daughter to somebody. Those boundaries are so beautifully set.
Yeah.
As simple as saying no, or as complex as communicating what's in my heart and
Mm.
still not uh, dealing with the other people's cries or
Reactions.
things,
Huh?
reactions, right? So the boundaries come into play, and that is applicable, I think, for everybody once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And stress release also. Like without sounding a little braggy about DMT, I have not yet come across someone who has said, it was okay. Ah, it didn't work for me. The challenge is to bring them, but once it happens, I have had like 100% success rate, at least when it comes to them feeling happier than before. And I feel that that's victory enough for me.
Yeah. And I think so many times our facilitators and our groups told us, right? Our supervisors were mentioning, just movement itself is therapeutic. You don't
Yeah,
have to do anything. Just
yeah,
move, and there you have it. Your
yeah.
therapy session is done, right?
It's not that
So
deep.
it's not that deep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Deepti, I want to ask you a question out of because now we have discussed like a lot of groups, geriatrics and children, corporates, artists. What was like, was there any group that you facilitated and somewhere maybe in the middle you felt that this is not working out, but then somehow it did towards the end? Do you have any
Actually,
experience?
even though I work with children, I have been working with children more than half of my life till now, but it has always been in the role of a teacher or a guide or a mentor. But I was facilitating a group of children, and not just in the middle. At the end of it, honestly, I just broke down because it was really hard. First of all, I am dealing with my personality, being a therapist
Hmm.
versus being a mentor. And with children, that mentor role just comes up. And it was
Yeah.
so hard, Purva, trust me. But the children gave wonderful feedback. The
Hmm.
children built this beautiful community among themselves. And a lot of them came back and told me that, I don't know how this was working, but it has worked for us. And children realizing that it has worked for them is just brilliant. So it has happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, this thing, I don't know how it has worked. I've seen with the dancers group because they're all Bharatanatyam dancers and been dancing for some time. And some just movement and body awareness related things they were, okay, without getting into too many technical details. Just, okay, what is your trauma area? Where do you store trauma in your body? And how do you remove it out of your body? And then towards the end, they were just like, I don't know how it's gone. I don't know. And then someone said, it might be placebo, Purva, but I don't know. It's gone. It's gone. And then in the next session, she said, it was not placebo because I had an interview and I was really nervous. And suddenly my shoulders started feeling heavy. I started feeling, my shoulders were aching. And then I did that thing that you made us do in the session. And it was gone and my interview went so well and there was no pain in my shoulders. So it was not placebo. I don't know how, but it worked. So
Yeah,
like that,
I think,
right?
we say that, right? Trust the process.
Yeah,
Just trust the process and
yeah,
it'll take you wherever you need to go, isn't it?
absolutely.
And bringing that into picture, I think one group we must address here is the group of adolescents because they are the ones we started with body image issues somewhere in between. And
Yeah,
they are the ones who are dealing with so many changes
yeah,
mentally, physically, emotionally,
yeah.
that for them, acceptance at every phase, fast changing phases, it's very important. And I think that is one group that will benefit maximum from the
Mm,
dance movement therapy sessions.
absolutely.
And they need that non judgmental, very open, very safe space to be themselves.
Yeah,
And most of the places they're unable to be themselves. They're unable to
yeah,
express their opinions. Nobody takes them seriously, right?
yep, yep. And there is also that mood swings happening. There's so much changing, not just the bodies, but suddenly academic pressure is there, and you have to sort of start thinking about what you want to do after your 10th and your 12th. And all of those things pile up, and somewhere, as a society, we just say, oh, teenagers. They're like that only, without realizing just how much they are going through. And because DMT addresses emotional changes, or just stress in general, I feel, yeah, like you said, with adolescents also, it's such a good way for them to express themselves however they want to, explore also their emotions, stresses, the good and bad parts of being a teenager.
And along with teenagers, teenage parents also. I think DMT can help them bring in a lot of compassion for the teenagers, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't understand their teenagers. It's a
yeah.
huge generation gap. But I think with DMT, understanding the growth in their teenage
Hmm.
child,
Hmm.
understanding how their bodies are changing, understanding how their hormones are changing,
Yeah.
how their emotions, mood swings. I think parents also need it as much as the teenagers themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. But like now, even we had decided a number of groups that we would be addressing, but like one thing led to another. And I feel it's safe to sum up that everyone at some point of time, if you are feeling stressed, if you're just not able to find an outlet, not able to find a way to express yourself, or just want to spend some time with yourself, I feel a DMT session, even a group session, is such a good place to, feel connected with yourself, and at the same time seen by others. Like, your struggle, your story being acknowledged by others could be a very powerful tool in, feeling a little healed from inside, I feel.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, human beings are social animals, right? We need the society to be with us. And I think we must inform that stay tuned because we are coming up with something for everybody very soon. Announcements are going to happen on the page. Follow our page, Kinesthetic Journeys, for more information and be a part of it. Experience you will get a first-hand experience of what
Yeah,
we are talking about,
yeah,
and why
yeah,
are we so proud that we are therapists and we ourselves have done DMT for ourselves. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you'll get a first-hand experience there.
Yeah, I feel it's, there's no harm in trying, and if then it doesn't work for you, then fair enough. But there is absolutely no harm in just trying. I feel that much we can guarantee that if not anything else, you will come out of it with a wider smile.
Or you will realize that DMT is not for you, and that is also okay.
That's also okay. That's a good part about this, or therapy space in general. Like, it's okay if something is not working out also. But yeah,
Yeah, all answers are accepted, all
all
opinions are
answers are
accepted.
accepted. Absolutely, absolutely.
So I think a very DMT style. How do you feel in your body right now, Purva?
Hmm. I am, like, yeah, I'm feeling very wavy, like how waves are building up towards the shore. So maybe the shore here is the DMT workshop that's coming up. Let's see how hard the waves hit the shore, and let's see how many people we get this time. But I feel like the feeling is like that of something building for me.
Okay,
What
nice.
about
And
you?
I can see you move as we were
Yes,
going through the
exactly.
podcast. I could see your wavy movements
Yeah,
going
exactly.
on, right? So awesome. That's nice. And for me, I think right now it's those pitter-patter raindrops. Literally that rhyme comes to my mind. It's like tickles, trickles falling
Hmm.
in and falling out and creating that wonderful rhythm.
Hmm.
So I am in that zone, tip-tap zone.
Yeah. Also, the weather is very supportive of our
Yes.
water feature gestures
Oh,
right
right. We
now.
both selected water.
Yep, yep. I think that's got to do something with the weather.
I
But
think so too.
all right, so next week we'll have another guest with us. This time it was just the OGs, and we'll keep posting a little bit more about the things that we are going to be coming up with. So please stay
Yeah,
tuned. And
absolutely.
thank you for joining.
And I'm really excited for the guest next week, the topic for next week too.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
don't forget to join in next Thursday at 9 p.m. and stay tuned. We'll be posting many updates on our page. So make sure you join the page and you follow us so that your notifications are up to date.
All right.
All right. Good night to all the
Bye-bye.
Indians and have a wonderful day for the rest of the world. Okay. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Take care.